Hey y'all. Hey. So this gonna be real quick because I don't have my mic. I don't have anything. I'm literally about to walk out the door, and I know my daughter is gonna hate me or gonna be so mad at me because I was supposed to be just coming in here, real quick. Y'all ever just get trapped in the bathroom, like you just or the car? I get trapped in the car all the time, where I just like be in a trance, getting downloads, and I be too into it with spirit to move. But I want to talk about um let me see what I wrote in the title. I can't even see the title. But I want to talk about Walmart's dynamic. Um it's crazy because I was telling my daughter, I'm like, every time I like do something, like everybody else follows suit, not on purpose, like that's just the way the tide goes. So it's like I have a knack for um the trend algorithm. Um, I have a gift for it. I'm just now realizing that, having that epiphany. But yeah, I watched this video that this girl put together. It's a lovely video of all these people talking about how when they walk into their local Walmart, there's no price tags anymore. And so, but there is a QR code that allows them to scan to price an item, um, which, like I said about the Bible, anything created by man is subject to manipulation. I don't know why anybody would expect for Walmart to do anything different or to not be greedy, but this is what they do after years of American loyalty to them. Shit, we turned our back on Kmart fast as hell. Um, and Walmart know we're in a recession. They know we got this fake ass war going on. They know America. They still don't care because with the dynamic pricing, you go to scan it, a price might be one. It might be one price, and then somebody else in the community comes and they scan. They get a different price because they're using your data to determine the most amount that you're willing to pay for a product. Trying to squeeze every little penny out of us. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of it. I just watched The Matrix for the first time since I was an adult. And yeah, when you're a kid, your brain is not developed because when that movie came out, I was like, what, 9 or 10, and I tried to watch it, and I didn't understand what the hell was going on, and I never had any interest in watching it again. But I just watched the Matrix, and it's literally so crazy. In which, not that it means anything, but I told y'all I'm one for patterns. Did anybody else but me just not know that The Matrix was written, produced, and filmed, directed by a brother duo, a brother duo that they worked together, and they both transitioned. They're both female to male, male to female transgenders now. But I don't know if that's significant or not. But I heard that before, but I didn't pay any mind because I never really cared for The Matrix. But I am obsessed now because that's literally, I don't know what those ladies, what they had going on. Maybe they're just awakened, but that is literally what's going on. It described everything to a T. And I know I'm late as hell, but I literally just watched The Terminator. All these movies are coming back up because they're relevant. I watched them when I was a kid and I didn't understand it. Now that I watch it as an adult, it's so crazy. It's so clear. I don't know if that was better or worse. I think y'all can see me better. Um. So yeah. Yeah, The Matrix, The Terminator, all those movies. Y'all better start watching them because this is literally what the hell is going on right now. Um, and not only that, with that dynamic pricing, let's say if we have another pandemic like COVID or whatever, which we will, and everybody was like scrambling and scrounging for toilet paper, Walmart can just be like, oh, $100 a box or $100 anything. They have the control because they have the monopoly. I've been saying this. They eliminated the hell out of the competition so that they could be the only one, so they could literally beat us over the head. That's literally what Trump did to this country. But I don't even feel like going into that. But yeah, what else is in the description? Oh, obviously last week everybody were talking about the Cam Newton in the Saucy Santana interview, where this grown man who's supposedly allegedly straight asked Saucy Santana, do he think he's gay? Ladies, monitor your man's online history because you got men really going hard in the comments saying, oh, that don't mean he gay. Black women always, black women, black women, black women. And it's like, somebody asked the perfect question. What straight man asked that? And I said, none. I said, I'm a woman and I wouldn't even ask that. Because I know who I am. I don't need anybody else to validate or confirm who the fuck I am. I know who I am. It's given very much. He confused. He don't know who he is and he needs somebody to tell him. That's logic. You got all these black men coming to his defense. Oh, black women they so manly and they so masculine and they aggressive. And if that's the case, if y'all don't like manly, masculine, or aggressive women, why the hell do y'all keep dating transgender men? Transgender women. Male to female. A lot of y'all do. I don't care. I don't want to hear. I know what I know. I've seen what I've seen. I'm 37. I've been on this earth for a long time. And it's not my first rodeo. Hence the hat. We've been here before. Several times. And they want to, oh, black women this. I said, y'all black men are under a spell and y'all don't even know it. Y'all cursed. Y'all are cursed to wipe out your own bloodline. You've been made to automatically think black women are masculine, aggressive, and combative, right? And then in the opposite of that, y'all have been taught that white equals what? I always tell the story of the dude who like, we were in an argument. He was like, well, I'm going to go get me a white girl. I was like, have fun. I didn't bat an eyelash. I didn't care because I knew he was going to get fucked up by not only my ancestors, but his as well. I didn't even trip. I was like, bye. And I be loving when people reveal themselves to me like that. Like, I never care if a black dude just be like, I don't date black women. That's your prerogative. But thank you for being upfront and honest about it instead of trying to string me along because you ain't going to do nothing but get yourself karma by doing that. Keep it real. It ain't nobody business why. We don't care. We don't care, but it be those type, and that's also one of my signs of how you spot a DL guy. A lot of them will date like these exotic women. No offense to nobody involved, or women that mainstream society tells them is beautiful because they don't know. Like, I mean, of course, people can spot beauty, but they're not sexually attracted to that person. They only. When I get to telling the truth, the cameras start going in and out. But they said they don't know why. A gay man told me this, but they said they don't know why, but they also have a history of dating BBWs. I don't know. I tested the theory on a couple people that I knew had got exposed for being DL. It so far it held up. I don't know what the formula is or how he came up with it, but it's pretty accurate. But anyway, what were we talking about? KILL and the people that voted for Trump and capitalism. Here you go. This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. You got what you wanted on a silver platter. Now let's see what you do with it. I don't want to hear no complaining. I don't want to hear it. I just know I finally deleted my Walmart Plus membership and canceled my membership and deleted my account. And they were like, "Why?" And I was like, I'm no longer interested in doing business with Walmart Corporation. I was like, it's over for them. Every time these companies phone user, okay, I'm that yes. I was there. And I remember everything used to come in the box. When you bought a new iPhone, all the charger pieces were there. They even had headphones in there. Then I remember when, whatever, I was like, I will start petitioning online for a class action suit against Apple for for failure to provide or sell adequate whatever. And I talked. They had me going to all these different customer service reps. I was on the phone with them for like 2 or 3 hours, and people were there. They could vouch for this. These motherfuckers sent me a box of chargers to my home and all these different lengths. It must have all these different lengths. It must have been like 10 chargers in that box. They were so good. Now they just don't give a F because they know nobody's competing with them. It's just like when you're dating a guy and he'd be perfect, right? And then the mask falls off, and then but he already got you invested. He knows you're not going anywhere now at this point, or so he thinks. You're at the no return. That's how a lot of these energy empires, even if they're DL, they date women because they need our divinity. They need our divine feminine energy. Different um um that's the same way the uterus is needed to produce the divine feminine energy, to produce uh and that's how they harvest. So when people be like, our energy, why is it 2020 shot and he still don't want to just be himself? Why are people still lying about their sexuality and reap the benefits of the divine? That's why a lot of men who are incubus or energy vampires, right? A lot of men who are that, they for females with succubus energy. Satan or demonic energy or whatever you want to call it cannot create energy. So strong. Women. Oh, wait. Anyway, women are so strong, but the way that it looks is opposite. Men are strong. Strong women, but when it comes to spiritually, when it comes to emotionally, some of the most strongest people I ever met in my life were women. I happen to be very disciplined. I remember my mom was telling somebody that, yeah, my daughter used to work as a CL, blah, 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 career rundown. And because her son was interested in becoming a CEO, and she told me that he was young. I think he was like 19 or 20. I said one thing, working in those type of environments, people just be like, oh, you just a correction officer or whatever. Working in those type of environments requires a lot of discipline. A lot of discipline. Because I have to be able to come in and do my job the exact same way every single time with every single offender, especially because I'm a woman. All they do is sit there and clock and look for chinks in the armor or look for ways to F with you. So you have to be thick-skinned, right? And the entire time I worked in corrections, I never had a use of force that was caused by me. I always was a respondent to the scene because unlike my male counterparts who used to always joke about how women would come in and get manipulated and get walked out, yes, they did. A lot of them. Yes, they did. I seen a lot of women come and go because of the same stupid crap, right? I watch how the women, I don't have to raise my voice. I don't have to yell when it comes to dealing with the men because I'm able to use my feminine power, my feminine energy, right? That's where women go wrong. They come into those male facilities and they think they need to be in masculine energy, right? Masculine energy is undisciplined. I know so many women. I'm one of them. What's going on let me see. This is 5 and some change of celibacy you're looking at. I've never met a man who was able to, and not because they got some life-threatening condition, not because they had a malfunction or dysfunction anywhere, just literally because I said to myself, I want to keep myself to myself at this time. And a lot of people can't do that. And that's what I was telling her about her son. Like, if he's not a disciplined person, prison or any locked facility, any correctional facility is one place they do not need to be. Because everything that you have access to on the streets, you have access to behind bars. You just operate in a different world than outside what's beyond the gate. It's literally like when I used to walk into the facility and that door and that locked door that cement, whatever it is, would slide and close behind me. It's like I'm stepping into another dimension. Because it is. It's a whole nother different energy. Any people can tell you who've been in a correctional facility. It has its own smell. It has its own energy. So I have to come in and operate in that way. And a lot of males I notice can't do that. They're repressed at home because their wife or their baby mother just nags them and gets on their nerves. I know, I've been working around men literally my whole life. In male-dominated industries, literally my whole life. And they come to work and they take it out on the inmates. And women are less likely to do that. I'm not saying we do, but we're less likely to do that because we learn restraint. We learn how to not be affected by every single thing. We learn that discipline, that mother discipline, how I like to describe it. Because we have to. Because we have kids that just say the wildest shit or do the wildest shit. And you have to be able to still continue to love them unconditionally. And you have to be able to still do your job unconditionally. And that's something that working in corrections definitely taught me. I learned how to solve disputes with just my mouth because I can't swing or get into a scuffle with no 300-pound dude that's 6'4", that's locked in a locked facility where he has to be in cuffs anytime he steps out of the cell, because he is very dangerous and killed a couple people. I cannot just be talking to him like he's just any regular Joe on the street. And no, that doesn't mean that I'm weak. That actually means that I'm strong. Because I have restraint, I can operate from an emotionally intelligent place, from an intelligent space. And men love to put that whole women are emotional. They're the ones that's really emotional. That's why they're the ones that pop up. Women do this too, but men mostly pop up to your job and then take you out of here because they want to get to know for the last time. They're the ones who have the emotional problem. This will try to be out in that light. So it's like men flip the script. We're strong, we're weak. Have you ever seen a man with a cold? Have you ever seen a man with a stunner? Because I'm the biggest dudes, the biggest KILLAs that you've ever seen literally cried and wanted to fight me because I killed the spider in the unit. And he was emotionally attached to that spider. He didn't know how he was going to live without that spider. I didn't know that was his companion. Men will crash out because they don't know how to regulate their emotions properly. They don't speak when they're supposed to. They hold shit in. A lot of them do. Until they explode or combust. Women, on the other hand, know how to operate in all fashion. Shit. Every month, since I was 10 years old, I got a sickness that my back pain, vomiting, nausea, diarrhea, my legs aching, my stomach, of course, is in pain. I feel it every month. I feel like I'm giving birth. I'm having contractions. You ever try to see a man wear one of them contraction simulators? So yeah, I don't even know how we got on this, but discipline. Yeah. Let me see, what else did I put on there? I know my daughter is so mad. Oh, y'all, I got good news. I was emailed yesterday. I got put on the provost's list for academic excellence for last semester, where I earned a 4.0 GPA for that semester, and I'm so stoked. I'm so excited, and they're sending me my certificate, and I'm gonna go get it framed. Me and my daughters, all of our achievements this last 2 years since we cut everybody off, and we just put our head down and we got down to the grind. Nobody helped us. We did it all on our own, and I'm so proud of us. I'm so proud of us, and I'm so proud of me that I made a complete academic turnaround, because I failed 2 classes the previous semester. That was horrible. Effed up my GPA. But I came back with a vengeance this semester. Last semester. This semester, I just took 2 classes and I got 2 A's, of course. So yeah. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, this whole Carmelo Anthony. First of all, I can't take the double standard. I can't, and I'm not. The Kevin Hart roast, everybody was mad because they were saying that it was super racist against black people, right? And then you had some people saying, well, it's free speech. We should be able to say, and I agree. I wholeheartedly 100% agree in the freedom of speech. You should be able to say whatever you want uncensored, because this is America. That's what I fought for. That's what I went to war for. But I thought I was going to war for. Okay, don't judge me. And that's fine and dandy, but why is it always like that up until you get to Jewish people or gay people? In fact, as soon as my shit ain't been acting right on here since I said the word gay. And because I keep saying it's probably flagging it like it's some type of hate speech against gays. No, I have nothing against gay people. My point is, try to make a joke about a Jewish person. I'm talking about the comedians who feel so comfortable in their free speech that they have nothing but racist trash to spew. That's fine and dandy. I'm gonna tell y'all, just like I used to tell my coworkers at the prison when they want to tell their little their little racist wisecracks and jokes. It better be fucking funny. It better be funny. I can key all day. I love being black. I love the culture. I love being a part of the culture. I love it. It's like my favorite thing in the world, right? Aside from my daughter, of course. I love being black. But I know we got some shit with us. And if you call it out and it's funny, I'm gonna laugh. The same way I would laugh about anybody. Because it's a joke. It's made in jest. It's not made for malice. But if you say some malicious shit, right? But then the buck stops at black, that's what we're not gonna do. The buck stops at Jews, stops at gays. Y'all don't forget how bad they were trying to cancel Kanye for just telling the truth about the entertainment industry and all the industries and how Jewish people have infiltrated, and we don't see that in politics. Zionism. So that's why a lot of people they're because of my profession. I've always been in professions where it's a big corporation and I can't have my job in any of my personal stuff, and vice versa. So I would keep my professional stuff completely separate, or like have a different name or something like that. Now I'm at the point where I really don't care, because I'm waiting for the time that somebody tells me how to behave at my job, and in the same breath tell me that they voted for Donald Trump. Because it's been nobody more unprofessional and ghetto sticking up his middle finger at the press. How old are we? Calling anchors who's just trying to do their job and journalists who are just trying to do their job fat and ugly. So don't ever, if y'all condone that man stuff, I remember, and I always say this, there's been jobs that I didn't get because of security reasons. They thought that I was a security liability. Me. I told you about the time I didn't get the job at TSA, not because I owed student loans, but literally because I had taken them out and they exceeded a certain amount. They weren't in deference or anything. As a matter of fact, I had already started paying them off. It was nowhere near time for me to start. They said the amount was too high and I didn't get the job. And their reasoning, which makes sense to me, is because of your capacity in your job and the secure nature of your job, you have access to all different types of people. We don't want you to be able to be compromised with, oh, we can get you out of debt. Here's $10,000. Which somebody in the Trump administration, y'all could put what his name is, but he got caught in like some type of sting operation or whatever, where he accepted a bribe, $12,000. They never received the $12,000 back. He just took the money, didn't lose his job, nothing. Do not have a situation in a world where that type of corruption is allowed to thrive, and then try to tell me your nails are too long for a job where I'm not touching anybody. I don't know if y'all know anything about prison, but how correctional nursing works, I never have to touch my patients. I'm not allowed to. It's against the rules. So, like I said, when people were trying to tell me, oh, you won't be able to do this, you won't be able to do that because you don't know how to listen and accept discipline. Like I said, I thrive in that type of environment. Chain of commands and procedural jobs, I thrive in that because that's what I've been doing. That's what I know. You will not catch me breaking the rules. I remember when my bum-ass brother, when I was a nurse, found out that I was smoking. Like I was smoking with him. His broke ass didn't have no money. Here, bro, let's go smoke, whatever. I give him his own little piece off or whatever. And when the first time we got into an argument, he knew my job. And he was like, so anyway. Now what do you have to say? And that's why I don't talk to him anymore. You gotta watch when people like be joking to see how will react if y'all got into it and you can see their true colors. So thank you. You just snaked yourself. It's always the family members like for years. I'm the one that they come to and ask for money. He's been locked. And for the longest time, I refused to do anything because I told y'all about the time when I got locked up for something that I didn't do when I was very young. And I spent 30 days in jail. And he didn't lift a finger to get me out or send me money. But you expect me, and that's why I tell people with these moms who keep supporting their sons who keep going back and forth to prison. What do y'all think happens in prison? You know what happens in prison. Why do you think your loved one isn't involved or engaged in any of that? It just baffles me. I've seen so much. I've literally seen somebody have a whole girlfriend inside, which there's no such thing as consensual smacks in any correctional facility anywhere. But he had a companion in there on the inside and was married and would have his kids come visit. And you the loudest one. And you the one calling all the records when you come to the visit. And you trying to pretend like you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, baby. Putting your life and your health at risk. And that brings me to my thing back with the arguing about Cam Newton. And so I was like, I wrote in the comments, I'm like, it definitely gave me repressed, trapped in the closet. It don't give me he have activities with other males, but it definitely gives me, it's a deep, dark desire of his. It definitely gives me, he done slipped into some adventurous corn once or twice. Y'all gotta stay away from that corn, man. That's where the curses is coming in at. That's how you get tricked. I watched this video of this dude, the dude that be rapping about. He always pick females to rap about with the gossip. You gotta watch these men. I look at the rapper Cameron and that show with him and Mace. They always got smoke for women, but when it's time for men, they never have it. And I actually like Cameron's music, but I see how much of a duck he is. I'm not corny. But when it come to other business, he mute on that, or he don't have no comment, or he don't speak on that. This man was literally laughing about how, like, yeah, you was ahead of him though. You was running ahead of him. How you gonna be laughing about this man running when you was running faster than him to get away? He just wasn't fast as you and got caught and got hands and feet put on. What did you do when he was getting hands and feet put on? Anyway, yeah, and the person was trying to, and I said, with Cam Newton, I said, it definitely give me, I don't believe he has activities with men, but it's like a deep, dark desire, probably. You can tell by the way he acts. He's very comfortable in his feminine energy. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And do that, does that mean that you are into the same gender because you're comfortable resting in your whatever energy? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, I always was a Judy. I always had a gay friend. I didn't know they were, that way when we were young. I used to defend them tooth and nail. And then when we got older, all of them ended up being gay. So, I was that type of magnet, and that was okay. They just didn't feel comfortable telling me about it. So, I went to bat for absolutely nothing. But, they were my friends. But, yeah, it gives me his soul. He's never going to find a soulmate because it's probably his best homeboy. He got all these different kids and different women. That's also my telltale sign for that deep lifestyle. That's an indicator. Promiscuity, sowing your seeds everywhere and not watering the plants, not watering the flowers, the garden. Being a rolling stone, rolling on to the next home. You keep searching and you're not satisfied because that's not truly what you want. And that's the gag. And these men be mad because you can clock in their tea and they want to argue up and down in the comments. Oh, there's no, because they were talking about the Just Hilarious interview with Joe and Jada. And it was about one of these basketball players, Wemby, or I don't know who. I don't care. I don't indulge in that. He was basically saying he will not date an American woman, and a lot of these kings, what my girl Cynthia G like to call them, in the comments. Oh, I don't blame her. I don't blame them. Black women is so aggressive, and I don't know how it went from American women to black women, but okay. And again, with their people trying to put energy that's not mine onto me, there's been several times that I was engaged in a dispute with a woman who was white. And the minute I matched their energy, they were all, oh, you're so aggressive. I was just getting my nails done at the shop. I told y'all my nail tech is a white girl. And there were other white girls in the shop, obviously. And one of them, she has mixed kids. But she told me about how she was dating a white supremacist and married him. Oh, but he loved my kids. Oh, okay. But she was saying how she wants somebody that's going to yoke her up and tell her to sit the fuck down and all that. And I was like, I don't have any time for that. I'm old. I'm mature. I don't date now because I don't want to have to answer to nobody. And I'm raising my child. But if I was, I don't want any type of drama. That is not enticing to me. She's like, you don't just be wanting to know that, you know, if y'all out somewhere, and somebody try, they just gonna step up and. I said no, because if anything, I'm going to be saying, get your stuff and let's go. We don't have for this. I say I'm really from the trenches. I've seen people lose their life over simple disputes. My brother lost his life at 17. Was actually in the streets. So, and I've came too far. Like I literally was counting one day, and 16 people that I grew up with, literally that are no longer here, and 15 of them has lost their life to gun violence. So if at this point in this big age, if we're not at the point where we're choosing people based off of, oh, what type of person are they when we are engaged in conflict? Are they a de-escalator or an escalator? And it's the same thing at the prison. I worked with several men who had like real bad egos and chips on their shoulders and wanted to come and they enjoyed coming to work telling people what to do. They got a kick out of that. When it always made, I had to grow into getting comfortable with that. But I knew when I worked with that person, I'd be like, oh, here we go. It's going to be some BS. Because I'm a ride or die. If you're going down, I'm going down with you. That's the attitude that I take. If you fight and I'm fighting with you, that's the energy that I carried over with me from the military. Extra. You walk into those facilities, you literally, you cannot have feelings. You can't come in there with feelings. You cannot come in there taking it personal. Y'all know how I feel about PDF files in my personal life. But in my professional life, I don't even want to know what these guys done because I need to treat all of them with the same dignity and respect that I dedicated to me. And that's why I never had a problem. It never with somebody. I remember one time this dude that I worked with, he used to pop off at the thing. What am I going to go back and forth with you for? With an inmate for? I'm thinking when I should about if it's not a lockdown. And I'm going home and I'm going to kick my feet up and I'm going to take a bubble bath and I'm going to watch Netflix until I pass out. You don't have that luxury. So why would I argue with you? Get extra support. And I come up and everybody's looking at me. Even the black guy, everybody's like, you know, I was like 2 lines like the soul train line. Everybody's like looking down at you, wait for you to dance down the line. That's how I was when I walked up. And I'm like, what's going on? They like, oh, you know, blah, blah, blah. They were waiting for this moment. They were waiting to see how I was going to handle it. Because they know how they would handle it in reverse. They wouldn't have been able to handle it like damn sure. But it was like, you big nigger, blah, blah, blah. And my coworkers, everybody, even the black one, all looked at me. I'm busy putting on my gloves like, what the fuck is everybody looking at? Did you hear what he just said? Yeah, what? It's business as usual. Let's go. I don't care. He's not talking to me. It's not personal. I don't care. And the fact that we worked in a maximum security prison and that's how they reacted over the N-word, I'm like, y'all wouldn't be able to beat me in here. Y'all not. I remember my sergeant was like, you're the first person I ever met. I felt some type of way about it. But you're gonna have to come better. You're gonna have to come harder to affect me. And what they realize is indifference hurts even more with these guys who are locked up.